Hey everyone, this is Luminous coming to you guys with a Pro Dota commentary. Today I'm going to be casting WGT Panda versus LGD. This is the loser bracket finals game number 1 of a best of 3 series. But before I get onto this game, I want to give myself a short introduction because this is my first commentary in my new channel I'm having. So if you guys are watching me for the first time, you guys might not know who I am. I've been casting for Dota for about 2.5 years. Around there, maybe close to 3 years now. I've been start casting Dota at 6.60, I believe that's the stage, and now we're 7.3. I'm also currently casting Dota 2. My style of casting is very methodical, very strategic. I'm not too good focused on play-by-play. I think I'm a little bit better in terms of analyzing strategical mistakes or strategical successes and whatnot, and of course pick ban analysis and whatnot. And also I used to do things like guides, and I also do series to cover news, I do series to help new players, and I just do series showcasing me trolling around. So I do a lot of stuff, but commentary is always my focus, and that's kind of what you expect when you come to a channel like mine. So I believe that's enough introduction. So let's get into this game. So this is Panda versus LGD. Like I talked about earlier, both these teams are on the top tier of the Chinese scene lately. Now this game is about a week old, a little bit over a week old, so the strategy might have changed since then. But the reason I'm casting this game is we see hero Centaur, and we have never ever seen this hero being picked in the Chinese scene. I mean, some of these other heroes are very common, and we've been seeing them before, but Centaur, I have never seen that in a Chinese game. So I was like, you know what, I have to cast this game. So because this was a AP remake, we don't have the pick ban analysis. I'm gonna wait for 8:30 to pick his hero, and then we're gonna look at the heroes real fast. So we have Ancient Aberration, Night Stalker, Vengeful Spirit, Panda, and a Centaur. Now 3 melee heroes. I presume one of these 3 melee is gonna take the solo mid position, and we're gonna have a dual lane with the other 2. I assume we're gonna have something like a Venge Centaur, and then we're gonna have a Ancient Aberration plus Panda, and then we're gonna have a Night Stalker solo mid. Although that could change up very easily, because these 3 melee heroes, excuse me, could actually handle the mid lane fairly decently. Even the Centaur, yeah, even the Centaur, he can handle the mid lane decently. So we're gonna have a bit of versatility in terms of swapping the lanes. But I'm pretty sure the Ancient Aberration and Venge will be on support. And on the other side, we have a Windrunner, Furion, a Slaughter, Brewmother, and a Lich. Lich is going to be playing the support most likely. It's going to be hard to say. He's probably going to support the Slaughter. I do believe Sylar is going to be getting a solo EXP. Windrunner seems to be getting the support item, so you can see that he's getting the wards, and that means that DDC might be getting a solo. Again, very versatile in terms of laning, so it's going to be hard to say what lane they're going to go into. So without further ado, let's just unpause the replay and go at it. Let's look at who is going to be playing what. We have Yao Bai playing the Panda, Shansheng on the Ancient Aberration, who's a support player, so he's playing the support. 8:30, the other support player, is going to be playing the Vengeful Spirit. Hao is going to be on the Centaur, and we have Mu on the Night Stalker. Meanwhile, on the Scourge side, we have Windrunner being played by... Is that Xiao 8? I do believe that's Xiao 8. His name is... He cannot type his full name because all the sponsors taking up all the names, so he's just 8 here. Lich is playing by DD. Slaughter is going to be handled by Yao. Me on the top lane here, Sylar is going to be playing the Brewmother. And of course, DDC going to be playing the Prophet. Very interestingly done. We've been seeing this lately, in fact, for the last month or so. Brewmother loves to drop that first web right here to make sure that you get the, well, for sure you get the rune, especially if you get something like a double damage or haste rune. That's very nice. Do we have a pair of Sensual? Yes, we do. Brewmother should see that coming and need to get the hell out of there. Once he sees a Sensual, he need to get out. Sensual drop on the high ground. Brewmother just need to run. He's out of the web now, so he's a little bit slowed down, but I don't think Centaur should be able to chase them down. Oh, Centaur is going for it. Stomp range, I believe, is 400, so if he gets close enough, he's going, but unfortunately, no one else is really following him. So this really early Sentry Ward being dropped down there was a little bit too early, so he kind of wastes that ward, because I'm pretty sure there's no ward on the Brewmother. Yep, there's no ward on him, so he won't be dropping one here. And now he's going to drop his second web here, no problem. And back on the top lane here, it looks like we're going to have Prophet on the support duty. He has actually sent out these treants a little bit early, in my opinion. Generally, if you want to wait for the clock to count up till 5 seconds or so, and you could get a Force of Nature summon, and then you could walk it to the level 1 cap right about 30 seconds. And you can see that these treants are a little bit too early. It's going to get there before the 30-second mark, so he's not going to be able to jungle freely. But Vengeful Spirit is coming around, and he's probably going to stick his body here, or her body here, to block off this camp. He's going to see he's going to see the treants. Is she going to be able to block off this camp? She's not going to be able to. These treants usher away, and that's going to give him the first level of creep camp. He's going to be able to jungle there. Back in the mid lane here, we are going to see Panda mid lane instead of the Night Stalker. Again, all 3 melee heroes on the Sentinel side will be able to nicely solo the mid lane. And it looks like we're going to have Vengeful Spirit come around. This might transition to a duel lane. Are we going to have a clap? No, we're not. No really real harass going to Yao. 2 melees going to mid lane. We've been seeing quite a bit of this in the Chinese metagame lately. Simply because melee heroes are actually seeing a lot of play, and they're very, very tanky overall, but most of them, they have very dangerous spells, and for most melee heroes, they're definitely decent chasers. Panda's a decent chaser with his ultimate. Of course, Slardar is a very, very strong chaser with his sprint. I'll talk about that more during the mid-game stage as we get into the more chasing stage of the game. But it looks like we're going to have quite a bit of harass here being dished out by Shansheng, but got to be very careful because the Lich and the Woodman could dish out quite a bit of damage once they hit level 2 with that Nova and, of course, with that Power Shot and whatnot. Here comes a Vengeful Spirit. This might turn into a Tri-Lane, and this is going to be indeed a very dangerous Tri-Lane. A single Magic Missile, a Cold Feet, and a Void, they're going to get a free kill on just about anyone, especially on the Lich, so he's got to be very careful in terms of positioning. This dual lane on the bot here for the Scourge side, very, very common lane for Chinese metagame. Basically, you lane a Lich on the long lane here. He's going to just sit back and deny with his Dark Ritual, and then you can have a very good surviving hero, such as a Weaver, such as a Windrunner, and you just stay in that lane and just keep denying until you get the Creep Equilibrium over here. And that means going to have the Scourge lane to free farm under his tower. Meanwhile, in the mid lane here, a lot of dish out damage being traded left and right here. Panda level 3.5 and Slardar level 3.5 as well, but he has his magic bottle, so we'll be able to go for the rune control. And because Panda's AoE clap does quite a bit of damage, he will be able to push a lane and go for the rune. But good job here by the Scourge support denying the rune by picking up that invis. That also is going to allow him to get some free EXP if he wants to do so over here. You will see the Vengeful Spirit right here. They do have level 1 Nova, so Venge is going to be in trouble. There's going to be a Nova right on him right now, but here comes a Panda as well. A lot of damage being traded off here. 830 in a little bit of trouble here. A TP in from these Furion, and they're going to get first blood. Sprout is still up. They can go for the Panda if they do want to do so, but he does have Tango, so really the Sprout will just get cut through. First blood goes in favor of DDC here. Nicely done here by the Scourge side. Back on the bottom here, Windrunner not really in trouble having a Lich leaving the lane because, well, she's a Windrunner. She has Windrun, so no big deal. Let's check out how we're doing on the top lane here. I don't think really Sylar could really push this lane. I mean, Spawn Spiraling can use and maybe push the tower, but because Centaur has the what is this return, he will be able to tank the creeps quite a bit. He's actually going to be using his stomps and just destroy the creep wave a little bit, but he's got to be somewhat careful. Even with the Stout Shield, the Broodmother can do a number on him if he's not careful and if he's tanking the creeps for a long time. But really with the Centaur, I'm thinking he's going to go into some sort of face boot first, and then go into Vanguard, maybe Vanguard first and then face boot, and then going to go into a Blink Dagger. At the very least, that's the most common way to build a Centaur. Now, this is the first time me seeing Centaur in a pro game, so that might be a little bit different. He's going to go for Ring of Hell first, a little bit more staying power in the lane, but here we go. We have a Furion coming in. I don't really think they could get a kill on Centaur, especially when he has a Ancient Tango, so he will be able to sprout Tango out of that Sprout, so he should be completely fine. But maybe they're going to transition into a push, though. We do have level 3 on the Prophet. He still haven't shown that whether he has Sprout or not, but I'm pretty sure he does. So he should be 1 level teleport. He just picked up Sprout right now, so he was actually saving a point. Very, very adeptly done. A lot of people just kind of just pick the point when they need, but with a very versatile hero like Furion, you can actually just save your point, and then, you know, depending what you need, you skill it. But yeah, he's got 1/1/1 of each. One level of TP, 1 level of Sprout, and now 1 level of the Force of Nature. As we see quite of a tame opening here. Vengeful Spirit is going to be doing some pull on the mid lane. Yes, you can pull this camp, and you could deny like 1 creep here. Or maybe, you generally deny the range creep for sure. Sometimes if you're lucky, if you do your pull good enough, you could deny a melee creep as well. He's trying to go for it. He's going to get that range creep at the very least. And the reason he's doing this is trying to get the creep equilibrium a little bit closer to the Radiant side, or excuse me, to the Sentinel side. Oh, casting too much to lately. Calling Sentinel Radiant. Yeah, he's going to get the creep equilibrium a little bit closer to the Sentinel side, and also going to deny the XP to the Slaughter. And overall, in the long run, we're going to give a little bit more advantage to our Panda. Panda now has an Illusion Rune from his bottle. So he's going to be able to really... Here we go. They're going to go on Yao. Yao already used the stun. Oh, there's a TP in from the Prophet, but good Slithering Crush really slowing down Yao Bai, and it's going to allow the Slaughter to sprint away. I mean, on the bot lane here, still a lot of passive harass going on, so really no real victor of what's going on. We do have a oh, that Lich might be in a little bit of trouble. Of course, Kofi was already used on the Windrunner, so really no real damage being done here. Ultimate is going to get picked up here by the Broodmother. Very uncharacteristic level up of that ultimate. Generally, you don't level up the ultimate. Most Broodmother loves to just max the web and spawn spiraling by 8. Generally, as a Broodmother, you rarely get the opportunity to get a kill here against the enemy hero. So generally you just skip the ultimate, but if you do get the ultimate, you could use it as a very nice regen mechanism if you're getting harassed down by quite a bit, and you know, you can actually get some kills on some unsuspecting heroes if they're not expecting that ultimate, of course. Centaur has still not opted for the boots of speed right now, just opting to stay in the lane right now and go for survivability. As we see Hunter and Night Stalker saving up a couple of skill points, just level up both of them right now. And here we go. He's going to be circling around, maybe go for a kill, but these wards, that was a Radiant, or that's a Sensor ward, and it's going to scope out these two. But without support from the Ancient Aberration, I don't think the Night Stalker is going to get the kill. 6 minutes in, he's only level 4 with the speed. Night Stalker a little bit behind, and that's going to be a very important night. The first night is always very important for Night Stalker, and if he doesn't make that night happen, you know, Night Stalker... First night for Night Stalker, it's like a relationship, man. If the first night you don't make too much progress, that entire relationship is going to go slow. And same thing with Dota, man. Your first night, if you don't get a couple kills or a lot of assists, your night's not going to be too good. But Invisible Panda is going to come around. And let's see if it's set up anything here. Windrunner might be in trouble. It's going to pop up the Windrun immediately, and no more slow in position to help him out. And here comes the Ancient Aberration and the Night Stalker, really not able to do too much of anything. Here comes the Lich TPing on top lane, but I don't think they could get a kill here on the Centaur as well. Both teams very heavy on tanky heroes. But here we go, Broodmother sending Spilings walking in, going to do quite a bit of harass on the Centaur. He's level 6, he's picked up his Great Fortitude, so he's extremely tanky, up to 700 HP. At this point here, but here comes a Nova. He's in. He's TP'd. Where's the Sprout? Where's the Sprout? No Sprout just yet. They're gonna physically harass him down. There's a Sprout. Immediate tank go out, but that's gonna give him enough time to 2 physical hits. He's actually trying to go for a kill on the Sylar. Sylar's gonna be fine. Very interesting move here by how he might not have made it out. But going for the kill here on Sylar was actually a very bold move, and now we have the Fury on the top lane. Now we have the Broodmother on the top lane, and they're going to transition right into the push. Back in the mid lane here, Yao Bai got a kill here with a Panda ultimate, and now he might be in a little bit of trouble. Slithering Crush comes on right now. Do we have yet another Magic Missile? That's a question. No mana for the Magic Missile. Do we have mana for the Crush? No, we don't either. Sprint, and he's going to go out just fine. Using the ultimate, getting a kill there, and Slaughter making it alive. I think that was okay, considering that they are going to get a free tower on the top lane. And 8 minutes in, suddenly we're going to see a lot of action. Is Centaur slowly walking his way up. He does have the boots of speed now, but that's not going to be enough to defend this tower, as tower is taking massive amount damage. I think Glyph is already used. Yep, Glyph is already down. DDC going to destroy that tower. That's going to give 1,000 code to the Scourge side, and they're going to be absolutely fine. Another Invis rune being used by the Panda, and he's looking for a kill, unfortunately unable to do so. And right now you can see Sylar doing quite a bit of harass and keeping him down. First level Shackle Shot just picked up right now here by the Windrunner. So that was just a sign that we're not going to be going for any kill. Even though he had a Lich in lane, he was just opting for survivability. So he has 2 level Windrun, 3 level Power Shot, and first level Shackle. So knowing that he's not going to go for kills at all, just, well, as we see a little bit of engagement on the mid lane here, there's a lot of nukes. Oh, the Crush gets on 2 melee heroes. I think that should be enough regardless. These guys are very fast. He will get off another Void. Maybe Sprint is going very fast, and he's going to go down. But here comes the Lich. Unfortunately, it's just a Lich without level 6. He's unable to do anything to get a kill here. So very good job here, getting that gank off on the Slaughter. Slaughter's been surviving most of the ganks, and they desperately needed one on him. But I'm still very intrigued by this I mean, Shackle Shot, that's a good spell, and no matter what stage of the game, generally just pick it up very early. Sometimes even like level 3 before you take your second points of your Power Shot, sometimes. But this game, he's just holding out to level 6, and I'm just completely surprised by that. But hey, he knew that he's going to be playing defensive, better to get better points into, you know, Power Shots and Windrun, and well, it worked out fine. He hasn't died, but he hasn't gotten any kills either, so I guess it's going to be okay. Back on the top lane here, looks like Broodmother doing quite a bit of harass against Centaur. Centaur does have a clap, so I don't think he's really in danger of dying, but he's getting chased off the lane, so I don't think he's getting really good farm. 10 minutes in, let's do a quick farm check here. Centaur's got 38 creep kill, his opponent 41 on the Broodmother, so leading by just a bit, but you gotta keep in mind the Broodmother is getting a couple of neutral kills as well, I assume. I'm gonna pause the game to make sure we get all the creep check and nothing dies. Do we have any neutral kills? Yeah, we got 7 neutral kills, so he's leading by quite a bit there. Panda's got 40 creep kills. Slaughter, how many got? We got 28, so Slaughter's being kept back, but we did have a duel lane against a single, so really that's expected here. Night Stalker's only got 26, so he was up against 2 ranged heroes on the bot lane, really having some trouble. Wimmer's got 37, so he's leading that department. For the most part, I think the farm is fairly even, so it's really going to come down to kill, which is completely even at this point, and the tower advantages. Having a Broodmother and a Furion will give the Scourge side a little bit of advantage when it comes to pushing and defending, but we'll see. Centaur, once he gets really tank, I mean, I'm talking about 60 minutes, 50 minutes in game. Once he gets really tank, he's probably one of the most unstoppable hero in the game. But on the Scourge side, they do have Slaughter, and the amplified damage really good against heavy HP heroes such as Centaur. So I don't think they're really worried about late game Centaur all too much either. So of course they do have very good physical survivability as well, given that they do have a lot of HP and the fact that they do have frost armor for some late game purpose. But that's a long time from now. I'll talk about that stage of the game when we get to it. Vengeful Spirit, Boots of Speed, Dust, and a Observer Ward, so evidently trying to get for a kill on the Broodmother. They do have enough stuns to keep him stunned for a long time. As you see AA Blast flying on the mid lane, as they're going to be set up on some type of kills. I don't think they really can. It's going to get dodged anyway, so no more AA Blast. Mu is lit up. His first night is almost done, and he hasn't really got too much of anything done. He got a kill on the Slithering Guard, and that's, you know, really important and everything, but he needs at least a couple more kills to really make it work. But on the top lane here, Broodmother still constantly getting that harass. We are 11 minutes in, only 2 kills. And this game is a fairly standard Chinese game. Somewhat of a farm-oriented, both teams. I mean, they're trying to get the ganks off, but unfortunately, both teams are so good in positioning, so good at TP supports, that they're just too afraid to dive like crazy. So that's going to give me a time to talk a little bit about both teams' synergy and chemistry against each other. If you look at both teams, they're so good at chasing, right? Panda has a Blink Dagger up. They really want to get this kill. I do believe they can if they dust immediately. Maybe you can even give the dust to the Panda. You blink in, dust, clap, and you go for a kill. They're waiting for the AA Ice Blast as well. It's going to hit. I think it's going to hit for now, and he is chased back, but they're really being patient about this. Maybe waiting for a smoke. I think he has to blink in, dust, get a clap off, get a magic missile off, and I think they're going to get a kill. They're waiting for the Broodmother to come out, or maybe they're going to wait for the Creep Equilibrium push over here so they can get... Oh man, they're wasting a lot of time and they're not getting too much done. Unfortunately, Venge and the Panda were just being very patient about that gank. They are going to find themselves in Illusion Rune, and there is no enemy ward to see this, so Panda picking up that Illusion with the Blink Dagger is going to be very key. But here comes the push on the mid lane. No one defending that right now. I'm really surprised here. Ancient Aberration Ice Blast should be on cooldown for just a bit, but here comes Panda. He will have his ultimate as well, but does he have mana to use all his spells? So far, he does not, and that's going to be the issue. A Ice Blast is going to hit. There's a Blink Clap. That Furion's going to be dead for sure. Is he going to try to bottle up? That's the question. He can still bottle one. He can't bottle now. No one's really hitting him. No, he's going to be absolutely fine. As we see, they're going to get a chase here against the Slithering Guard. He's very quickly, but here comes Mu with the Night Stalker slow. Can we get a swap off? There's a blink in for the clap, but Chain Frost is going to be bouncing on Geo, doing massive amount of damage, slowing that Centaur down as well, but there's a kill on the Slaughter. Here comes the Centaur. It's very slow, but he's very tanky at this point. Vanguard's up on him as well. Looks like he's going to be picking up a Planeswalker Cloak for a little bit of extra survivability. Here comes Mu. He's going to get slow off here. Windrunner is going to be A-OK popping out that Windrun. I do believe that's the end of that engagement. 5 heroes still surviving on the Sentinel side. They can transition off to a push if they want to do so. And let's see, but they don't have really good pushing heroes, so it's going to be somewhat difficult. There's another nuke, and here comes Centaur, really ushering everyone away. Lit Chain Frost is down, so you really don't have to worry about that just right now. And we do have, but the problem is Broodmother is constantly pressuring on the top lane here. And that's going to at least force one person TP in. Yes, indeed. Or at least one person TP, or you're going to start taking a lot of damage on your tower. Looks like Centaur forced to go on the top lane. Ancient Aberration Ice Blast is going to come in as well. Do massive damage. That's going to give Centaur a free clap. Ooh, lots of creep right there. Yummy for that Centaur. And that's going to allow him to, you know, finishing whatever he needs to finish. It looks like Broodmother going out defensive, seeing that Centaur does not have the clap right now. Centaur says, I'm going to just tank it for now and do a lot of return damage to these Spiderlings. And maybe he's going to get off another stun. You can see right now he has a Vanguard, so he really is going to block a lot of damage coming in from the Broodlings. And also he has a magic wand, so he's not really too afraid. And he does have the Planeswalker Cloak, and that's going to block some damage. As we see mid lane here, we had a kill attempt, but I'm still watching this kind of a dance between the Spider and the Centaur. I mean, on the bot lane here, looks like we have a TP in. Defending the tower. Can he get the deny off the tower? That's a question. The Glaive Thrower doing a lot of damage. Uh-oh! Come on! Ancient Aberration. Sandstorm makes a very uncharacteristic deny on that tower. And that's going to give the Scourge side quite a bit of free go. We do have Slardar sprinting in. No, that was a haste rune. I do believe this Ancient Aberration is dead. He does have a ward. He saw the haste rune being picked up, but that's not going to be enough. And here we go. Winran's going to make sure he gets a kill. Ancient Aberration drops the Ice Blast before he dies. Can they transition this into a kill? No mana for the clap, I assume. Yeah, he doesn't have magic wand either. And the Scourge guys, they know they're going to clap off and get the kill. And here comes the Night Stalker. He's going to chase a Windrunner instead of the Slaughter haste. But he does have the haste. Haste's going to run out soon. There's a Void. He's really going to salve up right now. I think it's going to be a-okay. He's going to be fine. And here's an issue with the Panda Blink Dagger first. Of course, he's very, very low. Do we have an offensive urn? No urn just on anyone. And Blinken for the last hit. Not able to do so because we had a magic wand up. Of course, the headdress giving the necessary regen to give himself enough HP to survive that. Nicely, very lucky break for that Windrunner. But as I was saying, generally in a professional game, or at least when the Chinese guys are playing the Panda loves to go for phase boot and then Django first. As we see a huge dive on the top lane, going for the Centaur kill. They do get the Centaur kill. And looks like they're going to transition this into a push. And right now, Sentinel in a little bit of trouble. But going back to the Panda real fast. Generally in pro games, so you get drums or Django of Endurance first on the Panda. Simply because, yeah, you could have the Blink Dagger initiate. But you can see that right now, he doesn't even have enough mana to blink in, clap, and drop off his ultimate. So what good does your Blink Dagger do when you can't really initiate with your full potential? A lot of times in Chinese pro game, we see them to go in with Phase Boot. Literally run in with Django and Phase Boot and clap off and then just get off the ultimate and initiate that way. And for the most part, it's good enough. Simply because he's so tanky, he moves so quickly, and you really don't want to use your spells on Panda, who's going to soak it up with his, naturally high HP. And of course, he does have Drunken Brawler against physical attacks. So you usually just try to outrun the Pandas, which is hard because he has Phase and Django. But Blink Dagger is a very good mid-game initiation when you have enough mana to use it, and so far he doesn't. And that's why in that last chase you saw that he was desperate to get those kills, but unfortunately he can't because, well, he didn't have enough mana for the Blink Clap combo, and that's why those two guys ran away. So he's going to spend a little bit of time in terms of going back to the creeps and last his way up for some mana items. Back on the top lane here, looks like DD has got level 8 on the Lich, which is pretty decent. He's looking for level 11. The Broodmother is going to be able to help him out a little bit. And considering that he's able to use some spawn spiderlings and tank some creeps, and it looks like we're gonna have a little bit of creep pools. 17 minutes in game, trying to deny a wave of VXP and prevent this lane to be pushed back ever so slightly, and gonna deny the EXP to blue for a long time. It looks like he's gonna go for treads instead of phase boots. Very interesting build on Centaur. I think with treads, he's not gonna have the mobility to really keep up with a very fast Scourge team. They do have Windrun, they do have Brood under the web, so he's very quick. Slaughter, of course, with Sprint is just insanely fast, and of course the two supports is going to stay on the back line, so they're not really going to get initiated on. So really, maybe they realize, well, I'm not really going to catch up anyways, phase boot or not, so let's going to go for a little bit more strength, a little bit more HP instead. That can be the reason. We'll see if it's going to work out nice though. As we see both these melee heroes trading off a couple of area stuns and whatnot, and it's going to be a-okay. Drunken Brawler, level 4. What level is he right now? He's maxing Drunken Brawler. Which, by the way, let me tell you, that's a non-standard way to build. Where the hell is that Panda? Panda's level 10, so he's maxing Drunken Brawler and Clap. And I guess he's got a level of Drunken Haze, I presume? Or maybe level stats? He's got level stats, okay. The reason he's maxing Drunken Brawler against this lineup is that if you look at the Scourge lineup, they're all pretty much physical DPS. I mean, of course, there's a Lich, there's a Furion, but a good deal of right click is going to be done by the bashing Slaughter. And oh, he might be in trouble, going to blink out immediately. Of course, Broodmother does the right click, Windrunner does the right click, Prophet does right click as well. So with max Drunken Brawler, he's going to block off a lot of attack. And during the mid-game phase, he's going to start to get Drunken Haze, and he's going to pop it on, let's say, the Slaughter. And he's going to be annoyed because, I mean, a good deal of his damage is going to be done to the physical side, excuse me. is not going to be able to do so. Looks like we're going to have a trade of tower as we see the Scourge team taking the tier 2 tower, as we have Panda trying to take tier 1 on the bot lane. Are they going to defend this? Panda's going to TP right in front of everyone despite facing against 5 heroes. Not too afraid. He's going to go in right now, but again, won't have the blink and split combo, so he really can't be going too offensive at this point yet. On the top lane here, Centaur actually starting to hold the lane decently now against the Broodmother. Again, Broodmother can't really do too much. How are we doing in terms of item on Broodmother? He's got the BKB, which is a very, very good early item. Not going for the Orchid for now. I don't think he's going to be going for the Orchid anymore. This seems to be gearing for a very, very late game stage. Seems like the Scourge team wants to push against Panda. LGD really wants to push, but Panda is just hard to push up against because, well, they have the Panda who could blink and clap and split once he gets the mana to do so. Is he going to pick up like Intrets right now or something? We'll see. Maybe Phase? Drums? He's going to go for Intrets. Okay. And a TP scroll. Also, by the way, you can see that he's keeping up Tango. You might be saying, why is he keeping Tango 20 minutes in the game? Well, on the enemy team, there is a Prophet, so he's going to TP in and Sprout you. So you could just Tango out from the Sprout and you'd be A-okay. Let's see if anyone else is keeping Tangos. Nope, just him. Just him. Of course, he has one as well. And Ancient Aberration trying to finish his mecha. And given the fact that he started as a support, having a 20 mecha, not too bad. Vengeful Spirit has power treads on strength, so going to give himself a little bit more survivability. And here comes the Panda lineup pushing this mid tower. They do have the Panda split on interest. Yeah, definitely. They will have the blink clap split combo. Unfortunately for the Panda, he's level 10 right now. So his Panda ultimate won't be too strong, but Broodmother is sensing this time, okay, I see no one in this lane. It's okay that even if they lose this tier 1 tower, if they could get a tier 2 tower in return, that's going to be fine. We do have Sprout on How, and we have a Tango out from Panda trying to help him out. Tower is still being defended right now. All Scourge care to do is turtle. They don't really need to initiate a fire or anything. And here comes, that's going to force the TP scroll on the top lane. AA Blast being forced to use there as well. And here comes a chase happening right now. Shackle Shot on 2 hero. There's a clap on Yao Bai. Ultimate being popped up. Nice 4-staff. Chain Frost. Not going to do too much damage. It's going to get split up immediately. Starter. Is that illusion? That is an illusion. We have a Cyclone on the Windrunner sending him up in the air for a long, long time. I do believe they're going to focus on this. There's a Stomp here on the Windrunner. He does pop off the Windrunner. There's a slow on him as well. Completely chain stun. He's gonna go down. Broodmother, sensing that he needs to help in the lane, hesitated a little bit, trying to help come to mid lane. Unfortunately, he really wasted a lot of time pushing this tower. In fact, he's gonna resume doing so right now. Tower very low HP, about 400 left, and that's gonna pull another 2 guys back. You said even though they want a team fight very much so on the Sentinel side, they cannot transition into a push. They're gonna try, but I believe Slardar, Ancient Aberration, and Lich should be able to defend this tower. Meanwhile, Ancient Aberration, Ice Blast comes on the top lane here. He's gonna be in trouble. There's Ice Blast. A single voice gonna do the job. Glaive Thrower is still doing a lot of work on the top lane. Mid tower in trouble as well. Centaur trying to get the tower. Any deny, no deny. How is going to get the last hit? He might be in a little bit of trouble. We're going to have a crush. And here comes a blink. There's a 1 kill here going on Lich. And nice 4-staff keeping Yao from a very dangerous position. But we still have the blink tower. No mana just for now. Everyone low HP. Mew on the top lane here. Tower got denied by Panda. Nicely done. Strong victory for Panda right now. Got the mid tower, got a kill here, and got the deny against Broodmother. Very, very key exchange so far. Going in favor of the Panda lineup. LGD in a little bit of trouble. They are down by 3 kills. They are leading in terms of tower right now, but having this one denied does hurt you a little bit in terms of gold, but that is going to give even more pressure being applied to Panda because, you know, Siler says, okay, I'm going to just keep staying this lane. He's not really afraid of ganks anymore. Even if the Panda with the Blink Dagger coming in, he has a BKB. So really, if you look at what the Radiant team or what the Sentinel team, excuse me, to do against a BKB Brood, they can't do anything. I mean, you could swap him, but given the fact that he has treads and under his web, he's moving close to max movement speed. Once he pops a BKB, even if he gets swapped, he can just run out or run the other direction and gonna be completely fine. So, because of that, the Broodmother could just stay in lane all day long and keep the Sentinel honest. You're saying, you know, you're gonna have to keep at least 1 or 2 guys on the top lane, and that's gonna give my team a little bit of momentary advantage on this Roshan. Here we go. Roshan's happening. Focus Fire on the high ground plus amplify damage. Look at how early that Focus Fire is. He's level 12. Generally, you don't get Focus Fire until you max every single spell, but in this case, working perfectly. Amplify damage, gonna give so much minus armor on Roshan, and they're gonna just take that one for free. That was done under the fact that the Radiant or Sentinel. Goddamn. Sorry, I keep calling you Sentinel Radiant. I remember when I first started casting Dota 2, I kept calling Radiant Sentinel, and now I've been casting Dota 2 for quite a while, and that's why you guys haven't been seeing a Dota 1 commentary for a long time. So now I'm making that mistake on the other direction, but Sentinel, even though they knew about the Roshan temp, cannot go in because they just brought down Rosh so very quickly. This game, by the way, is so even at this point, I don't really know how to call it, because on one side, you have Centaur and Panda, which are very, very strong mid-game hero, and of course Night Stalker as well. But they're losing towers, and they just lost Aegis at this point. On the other side, you have Broodmother, you know, very, very strong pressure starter, very strong mid-game hero as well. But they're losing team fights. At the very least, they lost team fight. They don't have as good team fight potential compared to the Sentinel side. And also, they're no near as tanky as the Sentinel side. Centaur plus Panda plus Night Stalker. These are some of the tankiest hero in the game. But I guess on this side, you have Frost Armor. I guess Frost Armor on these heroes could make it fairly tanky as well. They do have 4 staffs, and that's so far the 2 4-staff usage I have seen. Very, very key in terms of keeping their heroes survive for a long time. So after those mid-game engagements, they're going to go back and chill and start farming again. Blink Dagger is up on Centaur. Look at his HP, level 14, 2200. His armor level is not too high, but once he's finished his pipe, I'm sure he's going to go for Assault Curious. And even if you have you know, amplified damage, it's going to be starting to be an issue. Let's look to the Windrunner or the Furion to start getting a double 4-staff up. Nicely done. I'll talk about the double 4-staff in just a bit, but I want to see either the Furion or the Windrunner to pick up a single Medallion Courage to get the extra -6 armor. Maybe the Lich will pick it up. But that's going to be very, very helpful in terms of dealing with the high armor, high HP hero of the Sentinel side. But yeah, double 4-staff, and the reason, I mean, 4-staff is generally considered one of the best items in the game. At least I consider it as the best item in the game. But especially against this lineup where there's so many melee stun, right? There's a melee stun right here. There's a melee clap right here. And of course, there's a lot of chasing power in terms of, you know, the Ice Vortex, the stuns and whatnot. If one of your guys gets stunned or clapped or slowed or whatever, just force them out. And we've been seeing really good usage of that so far. Top tower being heavily sieged upon. And it looks like we're going to have no defense being concocted by the LGD squad. And they're going to give that one for free. But in exchange, they're going to push a lot of Creepilibrium on the bot and mid lane as well. And that's going to pressure these guys. They're going to force a lot of TP score down. And once you force this TP score down like these, going to give you a lot of map control later on. Windrunner using another focus fire on the tower, so really, really uncharacteristic, you know, leveling of the Windrunner and focus fire, and of course a Shaco shot level 6. But so far, still making it work. Very, very good play here by Xiao8. And check out how we're doing in terms of farm. 111 on the Centaur, 77 on the Night Stalker, not too good. Panda with 94, so seems like going to be going for a late game Centaur. By the way, late game Centaur with the Radiance is also a very dangerous threat. Unless he's going to be going for that instead. Slaughter, by the way, how many does he got? Slaughter's got 72, not too good. 124 on Windrunner, insane farm on this Windrunner. I did not know that she was farming for this long. 104, sorry. I saw 144, I was like, Lich has 144, and I double taked on that. I was like, what? No, he's got 11 creep. 137 on Lich. I mean, 139 on the Broodmother, excuse me, and 35 on the Furion. Furion, despite only got like 35 creep kill, he's got 4-staff and an ultimate orb. That just shows that he's been really making his money in terms of jungling and also making a lot of money in terms of ganks. That's mostly it. I've been seeing him in a lot of ganks, ganking the Centaur twice as well. So far, both teams not really key to do the action. So we're going to see a late game Centaur for the most part, and that's, for me, I've never really seen a late game Centaur. Most of the time, on a rare, very, very rare occasion where I see Centaur, Centaur's always put in a tri lane. You try to use them as a killing mechanism, use his stomp early on for a kill. So really, this is literally the first time I've seen professional player playing Centaur in the very late game stage of the game. So let's see if he's going to go very tanky. Most Chinese players love to build their heroes very, very tanky, so that can be it. Of course, I talked about he can be a very, very strong Radiance carry as well. And looks like looks like he's going to go for Playmail. So Assault Curious is going to be his choice. Or maybe it's going to be Shiva, decent choice as well. We do see Ogre Axe and the Blade of Alacrity. Who's going for Panda? Or who's going to be going for Acceptor? Panda is going to be going for Acceptor. There's the Django of Endurance, and there's a Vlads. You might be saying, well, why are you getting Vlads? Is that a very good aura for the team? Well, first of all, if you're worrying about the lifesteal, they do have 3 melee heroes, so they definitely could benefit from that. But more importantly, the Vlads is so good for the extra armor. That's very important considering that they're high HP, but not exactly the highest armor hero. So having the extra armor will be helpful, +5 for your entire team. Of course, having the plus damage aura will be very nice as well. And the mana regen aura is very nice for somewhat of a low mana hero such as Panda. So the Vlad just provides you basically everything that you need here for the Sentinel squad, and also provides you a little bit of extra pushing capability as well. So which is always nice. And here we go. Both teams still content to farm. And I can't really blame either team because both teams feel like, well, we have the better late game. Scourge, I'm not too sure whether I should be as confident because, I mean, Slardar is a decent lane, but he doesn't really have to farm to show for it. Does he have any def? How many defs does he have? He's got 2 defs, but he doesn't really have too much farm. He's got an Ogre Axe, and that's it. How much gold does he have in the bank? He's got 93 gold in the bank. That means the Crow is coming with a Black King bar. Yes, indeed, there's a Black King bar finish. So now, are they going to start fighting? Here we go. The Sentinel team is smoked up. They're looking for the Lich. Can they find the Lich? They do find the Lich. There's a Blink Clap. That Lich is literally dead. There's another Blink Clap here. 2 very easy kill being claimed up there. And they could transition for a mid-game push. Of course, now here where the Vlad's is being very helpful, regenerating that mana, providing that, you know, the regeneration for the melee heroes, and of course for the creeps as well. And here we go. How is the Scourge side going to defend this? Well, they're going to wait for the Lich to come back for now. And of course, the Prophet's going to just pressure a bot lane. He has, of course, his global TP. So he's going to just prevent the push for a bit. He's going to threaten and trade your bot tower. And then he's going to TP back. But these guys are so good. Look at these quote-unquote non-pushing heroes, right? They don't have the AoE to mow down creep waves very quickly, but what they can do is run past the creep wave and scare away the entire Scourge team, and they just can't defend this. They can't defend this at all. Panda comes in right now, and Slardar comes in. He is sprinted up, so he's got to be somewhat careful. There's a Blink Clap on 2, another Blink Clap on 2, and look at the Slardar goes down because he has sprint up. Bot tower is under a lot of focus fire. 830 gets a mid tower kill. They got the Aegis kill as well, but you got to TP back immediately because Prophet doing a lot of pressure on the bot lane and milling a lot of pressure as well, but the team fight is going to break up. But look at on the bot lane on the mini-map, towers might actually go down. We do see mad spells being dropped off, and here comes the Panda ultimate chasing everyone down. There's a slow on Prophet. Prophet's going to go down for sure. Chainfrost's going to get dropped, but the Fire Panda going to tank a whole bunch of it, and Lucky bounces for that Lich, and looks like they're going to back off. And look at the Bruma, they're doing mad amount of damage on that bot tower. Really might actually even bring it down, and he's going to be able to make it out just fine. Yes, even though they lost quite a bit of team fight in the mid lane, it was a 2-for-nothing trade, I think, and also lost a bot tower. I do believe it might not be the worst trade here for LGD. They brought down the base tower to 123 HP, and of course top tower, even though it's denied, that's another tower down. It's a lot of pressure being placed down, despite the fact that they are not really fighting the team fight really brilliantly here. Black King bar is back up. Unfortunately for the Serene Guard, he got initiated on, never got the chance to pop the BKB, and when he had the sprint on, he just got focused down. His HP just dropped. Of course, sprint gives you the plus movement speed, but also makes you take extra damage, and he probably really regret using that sprint so early in their outset of the team fight. Generally, sprint a little bit better to be used at the end of the team fight when you're winning or when you're trying to use it to escape. Really a great chasing tool. And now with that successful team fight and the tower as well, we're going to see Centaur with high amount of gold, up to 2,600. So he's going to pick up the Hyperstone now, and he's going to be just about 2,000 gold away, or maybe 1,500 gold away from finishing his Soul Carriers. Back on the Scourge side, Black King bar is up, but not too much anything else. Prophet's got the orb, but he's still about 2,000 gold away from his Hex. Windrunner's got a mad amount of CS, but does she have the item though? Is she dying last? She's 1 and 3, 131 CS. Does she have anything on the Crow? I don't think so. And she doesn't even have her ultimate orb yet. So I'm pretty sure it's going to be going for a late game Hex. Seems like this game is going to be transitioned to a very, very late stage of the game. So it's going to be somewhat troubling. Again, for the Scourge side, I'm not really sure whether they could do enough damage against Centaur, Night Stalker, and Panda, which are really, really tanky heroes. I mean, you got to keep in mind there's a Drunken Haze in question as well, as Drunken Haze was just max. If you dump that one on the Slardar or the Windrunner, how are they going to do the physical DPS? I don't know. Maybe they have to pick up MKB. MKB, definitely not a bad choice here on the Windrunner. Although you might want to pick up either Maelstrom or the Desolator for some extra DPS output as well. It's just hard. It's just hard for the Scourge side to really do the DPS. But they've shown that they can pressure if necessary, and well, if you don't get careful enough, you might just lose top racks. But I'm pretty sure this is this is a professional level game. We only see that type of stuff in pub where the Broodmother waxes you before you finally realize what's going on, right? But for the most part, Broodmother is still doing a very good job pressuring. Actually, he's got the Orchid after the BKB. Very interesting choice. If he could Orchid the Panda before he splits, that's going to be very key. Oh, there's a Blink Clap right on him. How did he know? How do you hear Night Stalker gonna come in right now? He will have to BKB, so I don't think he's really worried. And he's gonna pop it right now. Still no, he's gonna look at how fast he's moving on the web. And this, they gotta be very, very careful. Diving crazy like this. And here comes a Centaur. Clap is gonna miss. There's a blink clap. They're gonna focus on Lich before he drops anything. There's that Orchid right. Look at how big they're diving. Here we go. We have, what is that? A Ghost Scepter? Was that an Orchid on him? And Winrunner in huge trouble right now. And he's gonna go down as well. Uh-oh. We might even see the min-racks being brought down if they don't chase. And Centaur's still chasing. Look at how deep he's chasing like this. I'll check out how the hell he got Ethereal early on. Are they going to go for the min-racks? That's the question. I don't think they are. Panda form is out right now. So they basically just chase all the way in the enemy base. Got 2 kills and not really too much of any building to show for it. Because, well, they don't have the equilibrium to push top. Definitely don't have, well, they can push mid. But the Scourge guys are back for the most part. And they got to TP back to defend bot. And that's exactly what they're going to do. How the hell did he get Ethereal? Ghost Scepter on the Panda. Very interesting. Double Ghost Scepter up. Okay, Ghost Scepter on Venge makes sense because they have Slaughter. It makes sense, you know. You want to survive to have Windrunner and have Brewmother. Makes complete sense. But Ghost Scepter on Panda? I don't think he really cares. He's got Drunken Brawler for one, so he doesn't care too much about physical damage. He's so tank. He's also got Drunken Haze. Do you really need a Ghost Scepter? This is a very, very questionable buy. Why don't you just get the Axe Scepter? It was Night Stalker that got the Axe Scepter, which makes sense. Night Stalker, one of the best Axe Scepter holder. So you see a little bit of engagement on the mid lane. A lot of spell being dropped down and forced to pop the BKB. Nicely done. And looks like they're going to go for the... Oh, swap. Force stab right into the A blast. And he might be dead instead. Yep, force staff him up. Shackle shot on 2. Nicely done. But Winner will have another magic missile on the cooldown. And here comes a clap. Here comes... I do believe that the Sentinel side could transition right into the push. You can see on the top lane, they're racing down that lane, trying to get something down. Are they going to go for the Roshan? Instead, they are. This is a very, very critical moment in game. If the Aegis gets picked up by the Sentinel side, it is going to be a really, really big win for them. But look at the top. And you gotta see your base tower in complete trouble right now. It's on fire. And here we go. Winrunner gonna come around and disrupt. I do believe they could disrupt the Shackle Shot. Gonna slow down the Roshan Temp. Who is gonna defend on the top lane? Glyph is already used. That's a mistake. Glyph before anyone got in position. I gotta say, you gotta TP in right now. That's a TP in from the Panda. Oh, TP got cancelled. Or he stopped the TP. What was he doing? Rax in trouble. Rax is gonna go down. No one defending this. My goodness. Yeah, Rax is gonna go down. Huge mistake. Did I just say, oh man, this is a pro level game. You're not gonna get a Rax lose like this. But that, I don't think, I mean, that's definitely a strategical choice they made. That it wasn't, they're like, oh, I didn't know that. No, we were getting pushed. That definitely was not the case. They knew they were getting pushed. That was a strategical choice that says we're gonna value the Roshan a little bit more. Who got the Aegis? Is it the Night Stalker? It looks like Night Stalker got the Aegis. They're saying we value the Roshan more than a Rax. Or maybe they realized, oh, maybe they thought they could bring down the Roshan quickly enough to TP back. But then the Winrunner did a very good job. He was shackling people around. He was just harassing. And that's, now it's going to be in big trouble. You're down 1 Rax. 36 minutes in, 37 minutes in. You could fairly easily defend it. Like, the big creeps is not going to be an issue. It's just the constant pressure. You constantly have to devote 1 or 2 guys there. You have to constantly focus to pressure it out. And right now, Scourge size, we could just focus on 2 lanes. Because the top is completely fine, really. So, the advantage so far, despite the Sentinel having the Aegis, in my opinion, the advantage is in the hands of the Scourge. And they're going to play this one slow. Now, the issue with Brewmother and many other melee right-click hero is that once the mid to late game comes, he's going to have trouble killing people. And he, in my opinion, he already has trouble. Guess what? We have Ghost Scepter up on both the Venge and the Panda, right? We're going to have Force Sap being purchased on the Ancient Aberration. So sooner or later, that Brewmother is going to have trouble dealing damage. Shackle Shot on 2 hero. They're going to focus on the Slaughter. Or excuse me, on the... oh, nice swap here on the Night Stalker. He has the Aegis, so really he's going to be fine for now. But look at the Chain Frost bouncing on the Venge. And the team fight not over. Can they focus him down? Can he? He is going to go down before he pops his ultimate. Huge play here from the LGD squad. But the fight is still not over. It looks like the Venge has gone down as well. And here comes this Panda. Here comes the Centaur. Going to get 1 kill. But Night Stalker going to go down once again. Double kill. We have a couple buybacks from Prophet as well. Centaur being slowed down. No shackle on this one. Uh-oh, his armor is going to get dropped. He's really going to be in trouble. Can he get off yet another clap? He's going to get off 1 clap. His AP level dropping like crazy. His armor level not high enough despite having the Shiva. Is going to get hexed down. He's going to go down for sure. That was a team wipe. I'm pretty sure some of these guys bought back. Yeah, Centaur buys back immediately. I'm pretty sure Night Stalker, yeah, Night Stalker bought back as well. But that was 2 kills on the Night Stalker, 1 kill on the Centaur, and they are up a Rax. They're up a Rax. They're completely just nullified the any Roshan advantage that the Panda team might have gotten. And the score is 15-8 though in favor of the Sentinels. Despite just getting a team wipe like that, they're still down by 7 kills. So the advantage was desperately in the hands of Panda. So Panda, I think they're making some mistakes here and there. But they still have the lead, at least on the hero scoreboard. But in terms of tower, Scourge very commandingly. Hex is completely finished on the Prophet, and that's why he was able to do so much disable. And here we go, they're going to focus. There's a Hex on the Night Stalker. There's a Blink and a stun. Shackle Shot going to be in position, and he does not have buyback anymore. Here comes the Centaur. Not going to be enough to rescue him. He actually might be in trouble, because here comes the sprint, and he's going to get a for sure stun off. Uh-oh. Amp damage. Prevent that Blink. No, they're not going to chase, sensing any enemy heroes coming in. Good choice here by LG. I think a lot of teams would have just kept chasing and trying to go for the kill. Hex should be coming off cooldown. Force staff onto the low ground. Nicely done. Good escape path here being done by the LG squad. I'm going to go back to pressure the top lane a little bit more. I'm going to have to force someone to defend on the mid lane. Meanwhile, Bruma, the Spyling, pressure in the mid. Got to be careful how you use the Broodling, because, ooh, just fed a whole bunch of gold here to the Panda. A whole bunch of EXP as well. And we're approaching the 40-minute stage of the game where I was thinking, man, Scourge is going to have some trouble, but they're winning these team fights. Critically, they're getting these ganks off. Even the fact that they have so many tanky heroes, they're still getting the ganks off. So that's very, very nicely done here by the Scourge team. And in terms of late game potential, if they get double hexes on the Windrunner, I'm surprised that Windrunner does not have her hex deck yet. Really, really surprised, because she's farming so well, right? Looks like the actually the Prophet has caught up to farm 100 CS now, when he didn't have too many CS earlier on. Broodmother's got a heart. Interesting here. Instead of the butterfly. Generally, Broodmother gets butterfly as their item like this, but evidently a little bit worried about survivability, and rightfully so, because you saw how easily they could chain stun you down. Blink clap on both the Panda and Centaur. Ice Blast, so having the extra survivability is going to be decent. And here comes the... Right now, I want to check farm on support. Generally, that's a good indication of how the game's going, but we might see a gank attempt going in the top lane. They're looking for a Shackle. No, the entire team smoked up. Broodmother wants to push on top lane, and maybe they're thinking, okay, they're going to gank our Brood now. And little do the Sentinel know that if ganking the Brood might be the worst choice, because the entire team is smoked up and they're patiently waiting. Ice Blast. Gonna slow down the push a little bit. Still no one defending just yet. Maybe they do know this is a bait. I think they do. They're sensing everyone's missing off the map. Here comes Avenge though. Uh-oh. Avenge might be in trouble. Smoke has ran out. I do believe the Terror just got the glimpse of them. So this Vengeful Spirit should know, and they're gonna back off. Meanwhile, Prophet really focusing and pressuring on the bot lane right now. Remember how earlier during the team fight, earlier in the game, most of the fights were happening like on this half of the map? It was very much so pushed. Maybe not that much, but right now the Radiant side, right now the Sentinel side, excuse me, are losing so much ground that they're not getting any room to farm. It's so dangerous to farm against a Prophet that has a Hex, because you never know where he's going to come in. So you really got to be very, very careful in terms of where you're farming. And of course, Prophet doing a very good job farming the enemy jungle. Meanwhile, his team farming his own jungle. All 3 lanes being pushed. And really, where's the Sentinel going to find farm? That is the question. Instead of farm, they're going to try to find a hero to kill. They are smoked up. Maybe they sense Prophet. Does this war see it? It's going to see the tree. So they do know he's nearby. Prophet knows something's up as well. It's going to TP out. It's going to buy a TP scroll, I presume. No, he's going to just TP out immediately. Maybe go on the top lane, transition into a push. And both teams kind of spending quite a bit of time trying to hunt for anyone else. But look at the top lane. It's slowly pushing just with the Spiderlings. Both teams not falling for each other's smoke gang. Here's where Chinese games is as best. Positional play, man. Like, both teams kind of know where they are. It's like a game of chess. And that's going to force people to TP back. Focus Fire on this range Rax. Let's see how desperate they're going to defend just a range Rax. I don't think they really... Oh, there's a glyph just for the Rax. They really got to mow down these Spiderlings, or the Rax is going to just go down. Center coming to chase. He pop up the Shivas. That Ranger Rax is dead, by the way. And I think that's going to be it. Yep. So very easy. They even use a glyph as well. Whole bunch of Spylings still in the jungle, and that's in the base, and that's going to do a lot of damage. A team fight going to break out. There's a blink cap on the Lich. Lich out of position. He's going to get focused now. There's a Slaughter Crush coming in, but he pops the BKB, dodging the stun. Nice swap here on Mu to save him, and a Force Staff him out. And looks like Slaughter is really confused. Who can he focus? Are they going to focus on the Windrunner still? No one dead yet, aside from the Lich. Are we going to have a Boulder Toss? Boulder Toss is going to be right on the Windrunner. Can they bring him down? Brewmother in position as well. There's a blink clap on the Brew, but Brew was invis. Oh no, he was BKB, was he? Dodges some. Windrunner force out. Here comes a Slaughter. Comes in, gets like 4-man crush, but now he's in complete trouble. There's a blink on him as well. Finally gonna go down. We had a very elegant dance of Force Staffs and Ghost Scepters and swaps and everything else, but at the end of the day, we had a kill on Slaughter. But Furion says, who cares about that Slaughter? I'm pushing about Rex. Really, the Scourge team, the LGT squad is just being so annoying here right now. Prophet says, oh, okay, forget the team fight top. I'm gonna just TP down and, you know, at least hit your tower down a couple bit. Didn't do really significant and real damage, but at the very least, they after that exchange, they got a range Rax, and they got a couple points of damage on the tower. And I believe they brought down the mid tower as well. I do believe that's the case. So for a Slaughter kill, that's okay. Of course, you don't want your Slaughter to be dying, especially when he's your heaviest late game carry. But I guess that's okay. Prophet's up to another almost 4K go. I wonder what he's gonna get. He might be. Let's see. You could, for example, you could go for an Axe Scepter, which is going to be really nice in terms of constantly keeping the equilibrium pushed. But his ultimate is already good enough to do that, so you don't really have to do that. You could go for a Desolator, I want to say. That's going to be decent in terms of providing the minus armor, but as a Prophet, you generally don't spend too much time right-click. You definitely can right-click, not saying otherwise, but he's so frail at this point. I really don't know what he's going to get. I'll be happy to see what item choice he makes, and we'll go from there. Brewmother still has his heart. How we're doing in terms of gold? 4K gold on the Prophet here, 2K on the Windrunner, about 1,300 more to his Hex, another 3K on our Brewmother, and Slaughter's got nothing. He's got Blink Dagger BKB. He's just really, he's the weakest link, it seems, on the Scourge side right now. How are we doing in the gold on the Sentinel? We will see. 4K go on the Centaur. He's definitely going to go for Radiance now, I think. Or I think he should. 2K go on the Panda here. Venge got nothing. Night Stalker is also the weak link here, and he's going to pick up a Ghost Scepter. Interesting here against the physical DPS, which is a decent choice here on the Scourge side. They do have quite a bit of physical DPS. And Mecha Force Staff still being ever so useful on our Ancient Aberration. He's going to be going for Ghost Scepter up swell. I'm pretty sure he's got 1,000 gold in his bank. It's going to be saving just about 500 more for that Ghost Scepter. Vengeful Spirit getting level 16, that's absolutely key. That's going to give him a very reliable form of initiation, especially against some of the weak heroes. I'm pretty sure that Lich got swapped early on, but we're going to have engagement right here. Shackle Shot and Chain Frost. This Ancient Aberration is absolutely dead, and this means they could transition to a push if they wanted to do so. Blink Dagger on, oh, nice swap here, blink him out, but Shackle Shot, where's the Shackle Shot? And they're going to focus on the Slaughter. Slaughter does have BKB and Sprint, so he's going to be absolutely fine. Nova just to slow him down. Where's the Prophet? You got to be careful of the Prophet. He's going to be looking for Avenue TP and Night Stalker and Centaur, looking for the chase, and here comes the Vengeful Spirit. He swapped his off cooldown right now. He doesn't have Axe Scepter, so he's a very slow. There's a Force Staff up on the Windrunner. Windrunner silenced there as well. She has a Force Staff up as well, but she's completely chain stun. She's gonna go down. Nicely done by Panda defending this push. Is it done though? Look at the top lane here. Brewmother constantly pressuring the lane, even though this lane is already pushed. Keeping up the pressure like this is still good, but because losing this building means that your throne is slightly in trouble. The Roshan should be packed coming up soon, so in this stage of the game, pressuring lanes and having things like Prophet, having things like Brewmother, so very key. Roshan, is it back? Yes, indeed it is back. Both teams realize as well, and they're hovering around the Roche area. You see that 48 minutes in, we have 38 kills. That's really low for the most part. But my breath is running out, because even though there's many low kills, low points of engagement going on, as we see Panda comes in right now, Aegis Immortal gets picked up, and she actually might be in trouble. Swaps in for the Lich. Lich is gonna go down. Great team fight starts out by the Radiant, or by the Sentinel team fight, and they're gonna focus on the Brewmother. The Panda might be in a little bit of trouble. There's a blink out here trying to focus. Who is he going to try to focus on? Maybe on the Night Stalker. Now it's going to switch target on the Venge. Venge running out. He's going to get crushed, and he's going to go down. The teamfight still chasing around right now. Venge, Ghost Scepter, really preventing the physical DPS being done. Yao Bai gets a kill on DDC. I do believe that's a Prophet. I'm pretty sure he has a buyback. He immediately buys back right now. Windrunner in a little bit of trouble. She still has the Aegis. Slaughter, you really don't want to go in, and for now, waiting for the Prophet to TP right in. And here comes the Prophet, focusing on the Ancient Aberration. Ice Blast really goes on the Slaughter. That's going to slow down his regen. And here comes the Centaur. look at how tanky he's been in the start and the finish of the team fight. Still full HP at this point right now. Slaughter's going to go down. Ancient Aberration's going to go down. And once again, and they're going to trying to chase down the Prophet. Prophet, Force Staff should be cooling down. Uh-oh, he's still blinked up. Do we still have mana? Force Staff to the low ground. Panda a little bit trouble here. And there's a silence on him. He's going to go down to a spawn spiraling. This team fight still going on. Prophet finally going to Force Staff out. He's going to be dead for sure. I think Shackle Shot on 2 is still alive. Self-Glyph. He's going to be A-okay. Oh, Night Stalker still chasing, He's going to... nice Sprout. Going to slow him down a little bit. Does he have Hex? Can he TP out? Can he TP out? There's a Fear on him. There's Force Staff up on the high ground. Juking this Night Stalker all day long. At the end of the team fight, I have no idea who won that because everyone bought back. Everyone and their mom and their grandma bought back. And this Night Stalker might be in trouble because that Furion, he wants your cookie, man. Oh, he's back in base, so he's going to be A-okay. I have no idea who won that team fight because we have buybacks. We have Aegis being traded off. I think Windrunner, he lost his Aegis, so there goes the advantage. But considering that the Scourge team got the Aegis, so they got the extra gold, I think that was okay, but it's just so hard to say. This game probably is very even, and here's where I want that Dota 2 feature of the gold difference chart, because I'm just really curious to see where the hell this game is going. I really don't know at this point. We had the racks down, and of course that team fight really allowed the creeps on the top really to push down a couple more buildings, but it's nothing game threatening, at least not in this point of the game. By the way, Prophet did get a Maelstrom, and you guys might be thinking, what the hell is this choice about? Well, on the enemy team, you can see that they're getting a lot of HP, and of course they're getting a lot of armor as well. And Maelstrom, at least the lightning bounces, do magical damage, and that's going to be pretty decent in terms of piercing through the high armor, which, you know, basically ignores Maelstrom. Ice damage ignores that, so really nicely done, or a nice item choice in that sense. And of course, if they're Ghost Scepter, I guess the lightning bounces do a little bit extra damage, but I'm pretty sure that's not what he had in mind when he picked it up. He just really want to pierce through the high armor of these guys. And of course, he could level up to that Mjolnir later on. Shackle Shot. Oh, it's gonna hit. And notice how Yao really, he canceled his Slithering Crush. He was in the motion of doing a Slithering Crush, but he canceled it. Realized that he did not need to use the mana. So, saved him a little bit of mana, or did he use it? I'm like questioning because he's really low on the mana. I didn't see him use it. Maybe he did. Maybe it was blind, but I saw him S-cancel it, which was really nice. Anyways, so right now Scourge and Sentinel both getting those ganks off. I think the gank is in favor of the Scourge side because they have really a decent ganking swap with the Blink Dagger and the Slaughter, immediate stun. Of course, they have the Hex, which is the most important thing, and Shackle Shot, very game broken as well. But on the Sentinel side, they're not too shabby. They have a Blink Clap on the Panda. They have Blink Clap on the Centaur. So they be all clapping. Here comes the Radiance on the Centaur. And if you look at the last team fight, that Centaur was unstoppable in the last team fight. He was just full HP. He was regenerating like crazy. And this, this Brood gonna get swapped. He's gonna pop the BKB. I think they're gonna just keep chasing. They have the gem. They have Night Stalker at nighttime, and they're gonna just keep on chasing him. And once the BKB runs out, there's a slow. There's a stun, and Centaur's gonna blink right in here, and they're gonna try to TP and support him. Can he make it out? I don't think he can. Another round of cooldown should be able to do it. Yeah, the Radiance gonna do it. AI Splash's gonna just make sure to get the kill, I guess. But on the bot lane, look at the pressure. Gonna force double TP coming right in. And Scourge gotta be careful because this Centaur is starting to get out of control. Very interesting choice that he's went for the... when I saw the plate mail, I thought it was the Shivas. I thought it was the Assault Curious, but he went for the Shivas instead. Shivas generally a little bit better if you were feeling defensive. Because Assault a little bit better because it provides minus armor to the entire enemy team. Also, it provides minus armor to things like buildings and creeps. But Shiva, he might... I guess he could want to use it to initiate a little bit better. Generally, Shiva's a little bit more better as a defensive item. But as an initiation item, you blink and you stun, and then you pop off the Shiva and you slow the enemy team, and then really provides a chasing power for your team. But right now, I'm a little bit worried about the Night Stalker because seems like he's the weakest link, or at least the weakest carry. And here we go. They're going to focus on the... Oh, there's a Force Staff. AI Splash is going to miss. But here we go. Uh-oh, he's going to pop the... Are they going to pop the ultimate just for the Prophet? I don't think that's a good choice here. Even if they kill the Prophet, which they might not... What? Man, that was one of the worst micro I've ever seen. Uh-oh. Yaobai, are you okay? Are you alright here? What is it? What is Panda doing? or the Panda squad, not the Panda hero. They are gonna get a swap off. A Stomp's gonna get the kill. Shackle shot onto the Venge is gonna get down. Focus fire, force staff, double force staff him out, and a self goes. Nicely done. They're gonna save their Venge. And I'll talk about why saving a Venge is so important later on. Broodmother trying to run away. There's a glyph. There's a Ghost Scepter on the whatchamacallit. I do believe DDC is down, but Shackle Shot on Panda. He doesn't have the ultimate. He doesn't have Ghost anymore. He's gonna go down. Cannot pop off any spells. And here we go. They're gonna focus on this guy. Look at his HP going down so very quickly, but still okay right now. And actually, he's doing so much. Look at Prophet doing so much damage. It looks like we have a 2-for-1 exchange. We have immediate buybacks. I think that was a 2-for-2 exchange. Both teams spent and go on the buyback. Why is saving Venge so important? He's got an X Scepter. My goodness, this Venge is farm. But saving Venge is so important because he constantly provides you terror, he constantly provides you stun, but more importantly, he constantly provides you immense damage. Do not underestimate Command Aura in terms of how much damage it provides to the enemy team. And now with the X Scepter, he has 10-second cooldown on the swap. He's going to make these elegant dances on these team fights go on so extra longer because both teams have things like Blink Dagger, Force Staffs. And this game is just absolutely crazy right now. Of course, Sentinel's down a Rax, but it's okay because they're defending this. Centaur with the Radiance, they're defending this just fine. And I think we just saw the peak of Broodmother in these team fights. He's starting to do not enough damage, up to 3k in terms of HP. He's got a lot of survivability through evasion, through the BKB, through the regen. He does quite a bit of damage as well. Question is it enough? We have Ghost Scepters up on the Scourge, or on the Sentinel side. We have Swap up on the Sentinel side as well. It's going to be so hard for that Broodmother to constantly right-click a target unless they're shackled, unless they're hexed. But even so, Swap and Force Staff will still be useful in that regard. So really, this game is just so hard to judge. Slardar is almost hitting his peak as well, but not if they're getting these key ganks on the Night Stalker. There's one free kill, and I do believe this is Rax's attempt on the bot lane. Do we have buyback on the Night Stalker? Yes, we do. I think. Cooldown, 5-second cooldown, so he will have to buy back. Centaur, gonna TP back right now. I'm running out of breath at this point. Of course, they do have Focus Fire on the Windrunner. Hex Never. Oh, he's gonna get swapped. He's gonna get stunned. Can they focus him down? Gonna keep. Oh, nice Force Staff. He's gonna be a-okay. Vengeful Spirit is Ghost up. We have a Cyclone on that Slaughter, keeping him up in the air for 6 seconds. We have a buyback from the Night Stalker, as mentioned before. They can focus on the Slaughter. Slaughter gets crushed. He's gonna get focused down. No BKB usage, so there goes your entire push. And that's going to be done. And a backdoor attempt on the Furion on top lane. So far, nothing. He's just going to put pressure on the mid lane here. Night Stalker keep on chasing, but look at how quickly everyone's running. This is a full-scale chase. She does have cheese, but she's slowed down right now. Pop off a Hex. There's a Hex right now. It's going to be okay. There's a long-range swap, and he's going to be done. Windrunner gets caught. Both teams so good at chasing me. Sentinel, you gotta be careful. Your top trees, you're building, you're losing your building. This building's already done. I did not see how that happened. And this building started to take a lot of damage. A single teleportation coming in right now in the form of a Panda. But protect your trees, please. 56 minutes in on an AP game. I'm already running out of breath, but this game, no sign of ending yet. I gotta say, I think Sentinel might be on the verge of a comeback. You can see it on these exchange. The Scourges do not do enough damage. The damage component of Scourge is starting to worry me once again. They were able to do quite a bit of, they never had enough damage early on, but early on they had a lot of disables, a lot of hexes, right? So they were able to disable the enemies long enough for them to do the necessary damage. But at this point, they're so tanked that could they even survive the hex? And of course, this Venge is doing so much dirty work that you're getting initiated on. So what do you do now? How are you going to survive? And I'm asking the LGD squad because you get swapped in and you're done. Or at the very least, they have to waste at least 2 or 3 Force Staff to make themselves survive. So is this the time where you get Ghost Scepters yourself? Is that the question? We'll see. We'll see how the Scourge team is going to respond. Also, in this point in the game, you can't really add too many items to your inventory because you got to start worrying about buybacks, as evident by the Scourge team. They're saving at least 2 buybacks right here on these carries. Slardar would like to get the buyback gold, but he's so poor. What they do have going for them is that they can turtle. Not that their heroes are, good for turtling. I mean by that, they have the racks up. So they could just keep turtling and then until wait for these guys to back off. Sooner or later, they have to back off and defend because you can see that on the top side of this base. No more buildings. Here we go. The 4th incarnation is back of Roshan, and this Roshan is going to be the determinant of who wins this game because Aegis and Cheese is going to just make such a big deal. They already have 1 cheese on the Windrunner. If they could get a 2nd cheese, and there's a amplified damage got blocked off. and that's gonna slow down the Roshan. But unfortunately, Prophet just TP's in right here. He has a TP swirl, so you can easily get out. Vengeful Spirit, gonna force everyone away. But here comes the Aegis. Who's gonna pick up the Aegis? Aegis and Cheese on the Windrunner. All right, and we have Cheese on the Slaughter. On the top lane here, Prophet, ooh, barely made it out. And if you got caught like that, that was huge. And here we go, Aegis, double Cheese. Gonna push the spot lane. If Scourge don't win this push, I don't think they could win the game. I'm gonna be honest here. If they don't win this push, I don't think they win the game, because you're never gonna get double Cheese and Aegis again. So let's see how good their push is. They always, of course, they have the Creequilibrium going in their favor as well. Having a Prophet and a Brood will do that for you. And here we go. This might just be very well the game-ending push. And if you guys are looking at the time bar at the bottom, that might be a spoiler time bar. So you don't know, man. You don't know. I'm trolling. Prophet gonna go for a gank on the top lane. They're not gonna be going for the push instead. Now Prophet in a little bit of trouble. He's gonna force staff out. I don't think he's got it, but not if it gets swapped like this. He's gonna go for a kill on the Vengeful Spirit. Not gonna get it off. He does have a buyback, so no big deal. I assume he has a buyback. Hasn't used it yet. Does he have buyback? He does have 4K going in the bank. Are they going to use a buyback? That's the question. He does buyback. Okay. It's not very necessary to get the buyback off. It's going to TP and farm. Okay, not going to be pushing instead. If you're going to just TP and farm, the jungle of all things, why do you buy back? I honestly think that's not so much a waste of gold, because he's really rich, but a waste of your buyback cooldown, which by the way is 5 minutes, or actually 5 minutes in 7-3, so it's 4 minutes right here. But still, that's a big deal. The argument for this buyback, even though he's just farming the jungle, is pressure. Not the fact that he's pressuring the lane, but the fact that he provides a pressure of, hey, I have a global TP and I have a Hex. You want to come out and farm? That's the pressure he provides. So even though he's farming in the jungle and seemingly not doing much, he's keeping the enemy heroes back, which is important. So I see the logic in that, but really, if you have buyback gold in your pocket, you could have always done that. You could buy back immediately TP in and Hex anyway. So not too sure. Not really too sure about this. Not too sure what he's farming for at this point either. He's up to 3,400 again. He could actually buy an item now, because there's really no point of save on gold, because, well, you don't have buyback for at least the next 4 minutes. Looks like Scourge not feeling confident that they could push despite having Aegis and double Cheese. Going to be farming as 4 and 5. I think they're looking for a gank instead. It's going to be an Ultimate Orb number 2, or another Ultimate Orb. That could mean a couple of things. It could mean Lincoln Sphere, but against all these, well, I guess against Venge, it'd be a decent choice. But it could be it could be a Mantisau, or it could be a Scotty, which is probably more likely. Ghost Scepter, and a Chain Frost being used on him as well. They're gonna chase him down. Can they chase him down? BKB being used on the Slaughter. They're gonna pick him off. He probably has buyback. I'm pretty sure of it. They're gonna focus on Lich. He doesn't have Chain Frost anymore, so that's what's kind of a 1-for-1 exchange. Broodmother focusing down. He's focusing on the Centaur of all heroes. But who is going to focus on? Panda? I guess, right? You have to focus on the Centaur. Centaur, look at his HP decreasing rapidly. He's going to go down. I'm sure he has buyback, so it's no big deal. There's a buyback in number 1. There's a swap in on the Broodmother. Broodmother's going to focus down. There's a crush in Centaur. BOT's right back in. Going to focus on the Slaughter. Slaughter losing HP rapidly. He's going to pop the cheese. A-OK, no problem right here. And the chase continues. Going to focus on the Venge. They got to focus on the Venge. Venge is the biggest damage dealer. Aegis on the Windrunner. So, okay, they have to focus on the Venge, but he really gets Usher away. Broodmother in a little bit of trouble. I'm sure they have True Sight. I'm actually Broodmother trying to do the right click. Are they going to focus on the Venge now? Panda blinks out. What is going on with this team fight? Mad chase is going on. Oh, Slaughter walking with his teammates. Still nothing real damage being done. Both teams trades a couple of buybacks. At the end of the day, we have Prophet. Who died? Was that the Prophet dying? Yeah, Prophet died and the Lich died for a Centaur and a Night Stalker. Centaur bought back. Of course, at the middle of that team fight, more damage slowly being done to these two buildings. And did we used one Aegis and one Cheese. One Aegis and a Cheese trading for a buyback on a Centaur. I don't think that's a worthy trade, to be completely honest here. And of course, they did some, minuscule damage on these buildings, which, can be important, but for now, it's not really important. The Chi was used on the Slaughter, of course. And still a cheese remaining on the Windrunner. That was the cheese on the third Roshan, still holding on to it. That cheese is going stale right now, man. It's going bad. There's a shop of items. You pick up a TP. Oh, you need a TP skill? Just pick one up here. Don't need to buy one. Gem of True Sight being bought on the Ancient Operation. Or no, that was a Panda. Everyone's maxed out almost on HP. Panda's gonna switch out his treads for something else later on. I don't know what he's gonna switch out on. Smoke the Sea being used. And let's see. Can be a game-breaking fight. It's a Scourge expecting a smoke. Invis in here as well. And I do believe they do see the Invis. But I think they're not picking this Invis because they don't know whether the enemy team have a ward here. If the ward senses that, hey, someone just picked up the Invis, that means that the enemy team is smoked up. Cannot give away that fact. Did they run into the... Yeah. Scourge team, let's go into the vision real fast. They see nothing, but they know. They know the smoke gang's coming, so they're like, you know what, we're fine. We're gonna defend our base because we have big creeps pushing it. We have a creep equilibrium going to mid. We could take as long as we want. We're gonna just defend this bot tower because that's really the only way you could push into it. So, meanwhile, the Sentinel side, oh, the fight is gonna be brought. There's a swap in on the Lich. Lich's gonna get focused down once again. He's not gonna get the Chain Frost off. This is a reoccurring theme again and again and again. Prophet's gonna TP to pressure on the top lane, not gonna be defending this tower anymore. And this Venge is making a huge impact in this game. I mean, a lot of games we pay a lot of attention to the carries, but Venge right now, look at how rich he is. He's gonna go for Lothar's Edge, my goodness. And because he has a 10-second cooldown on the swap, he could keep doing that to initiate every single team fight. We have 38 seconds to the Lich, and looks like we have Vengeful Spirit of all people gonna TP out. And he's gonna defend. Look at the huge... I gotta say, they gotta just stop this push and defend. But unfortunately for them right now, the team fight has been initiated. They're gonna focus down. Can they hex him down? There's a hex on him. Focus him down. Focus him down. Force off out. He's gonna get brought down. No ultimate from the Panda. Panda, I'm sure, has buyback. Windrunner has to force to use his buyback as well. Panda trying to TP out. No, Centaur trying to TP out. Unfortunately, he's stunned. He's done. He's done. It looks like Scourge able to win that team fight, at least for now. There's a Sprout against the Night Stalker. Shackle on him as well. Scourge on the verge of a comeback, I guess. And uh-oh, Night Stalker got picked off. Mid-racks in breach. No one defending this. What is going on? Panda yet makes a very questionable strategic move as we see the racks, or the base tower, really all gone at this point. These Glaive Thrower, by the way, just going to town. And really, Venge got to defend by himself. Yeah, very smartly targeting those Glaive Throwers because they're the ones that's doing all the damage. And here we go. The racks is in complete open, and because all the buildings are gone, they're gonna start. You're just gonna go right in and focus on the racks. I think they will focus on the racks, or maybe they go for the throne instead. In either case, you don't want them to focus any of those buildings. And Scourge really in a commanding lead after. Well, realistically, if we look at the building counts, losing these towers don't mean too much of anything because the racks are still up. But in a mental advantage, I feel like Panda right now is like, oh shoot, what are we gonna do? Like, we have to play defensive now. The Furion backdoor can be a threat now because we're in the late stage of game. BOT backdoor can be a threat now. Furion can TP in, TP in, make trees, and we have mass BOT. So far, we haven't seen any BOTs, but still. But the thing is, what we still have going for them is we have a Venge with the swap, which is just really game breaking. It really comes down to positioning at this point. This game is going into a very, very passive lull, as we see Manta style is going to be the item choice here for the Furion. Gives you just a little bit of more armor, but more importantly gives you the 10% increase in movement speed, which can be very important if you're stunned and slowed and trying to run your way out. Assault Curious finish on the Slaughter, but still not very tank. I hope he's gonna get at least a Vid Booster. Vid Booster is not gonna add too much, to be honest. Maybe he's gonna go for Lifesteal. We'll see. Bot tower getting pressure as we see both teams trading for a lot of farm. Ventral, I don't really think Ventral Spirit should have TP back in the last fight, because when the Venge TP back, you lose so much damage in the fight. It's not even, you lose so much damage. I'm not even kidding. That Ventral Aura is so good. Of course, the swap is key. The stun is nice. The Terry is just good. She's probably one of the best late game support because of that. And here we go. The team fight's gonna break out. Venge not in position. I don't like how this team fight's starting out. Centaur is gonna get focused down. I don't think he has buyback. Buyback cooldown on Centaur. He does not have buyback gold. That's game. That's game. Does the Radiant team, does the security team realize that they could just go right now? I don't think they realize. Yeah, I don't think they realize that Centaur doesn't have buyback. Because I'm sure they would have just went straight in for the throne or they're gonna go for mid. Okay, maybe they do realize and go for mid instead. Or are they gonna go for the 6th Roshan? Yes, they are gonna go for the 6th Roshan. Jeez, this game. There's the amp damage on the Roshan. He's gonna go down in about 2 seconds. Alright, Aegis cheese distribution, same thing as last time. Aegis on the Windrunner. Yep, cheese on the Slaughter. And he's gonna pick up. He sold his, what did he sell? He sold his TP, he's gonna pick up another TP. This is the TP Express. No, he's not gonna pick it up. Is he sending himself any item? No, he's not either. Very interesting. TP, Magic Wand TP. Okay. If you ever need a TP, you know where to get. But 28 seconds till Centaur. Can they defend this Rax? And my guess would be no. And here we go. Fight's going to be happening. Are we going to initiate with a swap? That's the question. Even if you get a swap off, it's not going to be enough. No defense for this Rax. It's going to go down. The creep's going to do it. As we see a bot Rax attempt here. Here we go. Shaco shot on 2. That's it. That's it. They can focus on the Venge. Goes down. No, Ghost Scepter. Can they focus down? There's a chain fraud to make sure they get the kill. Panda cannot. Oh, nice silence on the Panda. Cannot get off his ultimate. 5 more seconds. Is he going to get brought down? Yes, he is. LGD gets a double kill on 2 very key heroes right here. And I do believe that's the game right now. Rax in complete breach. GG is going to be called. Mu leaves the game. And what a GG indeed. Look at this game. Let's bring ourselves back to 25 minutes, 30 minutes in the game when Panda went for the Roche fight and did not defend the top racks. Hindsight's 2020, and they were able to hold on for a long time, but I'm going to call that was the mistake of the game. That cost them the game. I mean, of course, there's some out of position play from their Night Stalker, and you know sometimes people are out of position, whatever. But that's you know, you come to expect that. Humans make mistakes. But that strategical mistake on the top lane really just slowly just snowballed out of control. Like, they did a very good job defending this. But whenever a full-scale teamfight happened, creeps will slowly push down a, you know, building or two, push down a building or two. Eventually, they got themselves, you know, at least free 3,000 gold from these towers. And I think the constant pressure, even though they were defending it, just put a lot of mental stress, really, on the Panda squad. And I do believe they threw away a wand game. Late game stage, Centaur and Night Stalker and Panda, I do believe they outbeat them. But you can make the argument that, hey, they have better late game as well. But I mean, they are doing this late game through the backs of multiple cheese and Aegis, AGI, whatever you call it. And wow, Windrunner carry, Prophet carry, Slaughter carry, Brewmother carry. Brewmother doesn't do well in the late game, but good enough, I guess. So really well done by the LGD squad, taking one under the Panda, who again I believe should be their game. By the way, this is loser bracket final game number 1. There's still 2 more games coming your way. So hope you guys enjoyed this commentary. As always, this is Luminous signing off. See you guys.